Hey, how's it going? I hope you're doing good. So, I was just watching more of the Vlog Squad, and I was realizing sometimes I see this guy pop up in my search, or not my search, but and I watch this guy. He's younger. He's probably gotten a few years older since I started watching YouTube. I don't know how many years he's been doing this, but I guess he does these fast food reviews. But he always dresses up, or not necessarily dresses up, but he wears some type of a suit and a tie. He used sort of, like appropriate language, stuff like that. So, I guess he's doing a Little Caesars. They've got some new pizza. I normally don't go to many of the places he reviews, but I sometimes like hearing from him. He doesn't always register that high. I mean, when you compare him to, the video I was watching right before on the Vlog Squad, where they're out in Hawaii and they're playing games and they're jumping around, their suits are getting torn on the beaches and everything. I mean, just wild and crazy stuff, right? He's sort of the opposite of that, but it is good to watch. I said, somehow I decided to watch this one, so we're going to play this, see what he has to say.
I guess it is now. I guess it is the big one. Little Caesars, they have released a new pizza. I always like doing these pizza reviews. I am a pizza fiend, as they say. And just see what these places come up with. Of course, a lot of establishments, when it comes up to making new pizzas, adding something to the menu, whatever it might be, a common theme is the crust. Do something with the crust, a stuffed crust or a thin, or whatever it is. But the crust is a very, very common point of focus here in terms of new pizzas. This is no exception. Little Caesars has just released their pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza. Now, the name is self-explanatory. I was going to try to make some sort of joke about how difficult to decipher the name is or something, but that didn't work out. The pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza. What is it? It is exactly what they say it is. So there are no olives this time around, but there is pepperoni and there is cheese inside the crust. So it's a stuffed crust pizza. Instead of just regular cheese, there's pepperoni along with it. Now, it's not just any regular...
I think this begs the question for a company like Little Caesars that does these stuffed crust, right? As the crust has to get bigger with stuffing it with cheese and now pizza toppings, right? At what point do you just make a donut calzone, right? Like a donut calzone, right? Right? Just a bigger, rounder donut calzone. Right? As opposed to just continually stuffing the crust with more toppings, right? If you're going to put pepperoni, you inevitably are going to have to add sausage, pepperoni and sausage, which means you will have to add olives, green peppers, onions, garlic, everything. And eventually those toppings will have to make the crust larger around the pizza. So you inevitably would just make something that looks like a very large calzone in a circle, right? And then I guess you could leave a bottom portion, which would be that a Bialik or a Bagelbialik, or they sell them at some bagel stores on the East Coast. And what they are is they're a bagel, but the bottom is filled in on one half of it. And then it's filled in with like not toppings, but like seasonings, like herb and a little bit of cheese. And I think they're called a Bialik or a Bagelbialik. And so what basically was happening here is these companies add more and more toppings. They inevitably are going to have to add the entire collection of toppings, which means you can choose the toppings, which means it's going to have to be stuffed larger, which means it would be a calzone in the shape of a donut, much larger, or you would leave the bottom and have basically a Bialik, which is they sell them at the bagel stores, which would mean you would have a giant Bialik with stuffed crust, a giant stuffed crust Bialik.
Pizza, though, you have yourself an extra most bestest pepperoni pizza. So that comes with extra pepperoni on the pizza itself, as well as Munster and mozzarella cheeses. In the crust, you have mozzarella cheese, not mozzarella pepperoni, those are two different things. Mozzarella cheese and pepperoni in the crust, and then the cherry on top, with no actual cherries involved, nor any sort of cherry flavor. The crust is brushed with butter, and then Parmesan cheese is sprinkled on. akin to the crazy bread, which it's kind of like, I guess some people are saying, it's like a little bit of everything. You know, you get some extra pepperoni, you're getting the crazy bread, all in one, and that's what we have ourselves here. Price for this, $10. Little Caesars is one of those establishments that, you know, they try to say, look, if you're just looking for some cheap eats, you know, if you find yourself in a situation where you're rather impecunious and you still want that pizza, hey, we're here for you. And Little Caesars, from my experience, especially considering that this large, you know, giant stuffed crust pizza is only $10, based on prior reviews, I always find that Little Caesars is one of two things that's either outstanding, and it's like, I can't believe this pizza is this good for this price, or I'll kind of sit there and shrug and I'll say, I don't know, I guess you kind of get what you pay for. So that's what we have there. In addition to pizza, they are also serving up peace of mind.
Okay, so I'm going to actually search. I'm going to come back to the report of the week because it got me thinking about the Bagelbialik. Okay? The Bagelbialik is actually a really good bagel. It's usually about $1 less than an expensive or premium topped bagel. And I'm going to write the Bagelbialik because I think that's what it's called. The spelling is going to be wrong. Bialys. I'm wrong. Okay, let me try it. See, I'm getting it messed up here. See, I knew a guy with a name almost similar, but the bagel, there's Maya Bialik, but Bialys, Bagels and Bialys. Let's watch this old guy. 25 minutes. I don't know that you need to spend 25 minutes on Bialys.
It came all the way from Poland to conquer America. Just a generation ago, it was still mostly a Jewish secret. Nowadays, it is as popular as toast, and you can find it in any supermarket or coffee shop. And in some neighborhoods, it comes hot and fresh right to the door. This 3 to 5 ounce heavyweight is, of course, the bagel.
In our country, so many of these different types of food.
That's Wolf Blitzer.
Think of bagel, which was originally a Jewish little piece of bread, and whatever it is. And now, of course, you can go any place in the country. You can go any place around the world and get bagels nowadays. So it's just sort of like pizza. You know, you go any place, get pizza. So
I might have to go downstairs and make a bagel because I have the fat from the ribs.
Silverton is one of America's great bakers. She founded and is the owner of LA's most renowned bakery, La Brea. Alongside her baguettes and Tuscan breads, Nancy sells a great bagel. How did you get into the bagel baking business?
Well, you know, it was something I always wanted to do because I always had what I thought were great bagels at delis, and anytime anyone made them, say at a restaurant or a catering company, they were always so awful, and it was something that I really wanted to master. And a few weeks after we opened our bakery, this was sort of 9 years ago, this old guy named Izzy walked in, you know, and he introduced himself, they looked at the bread, and he asked me if I was making them all from mixes, and I said, no, they're from scratch. And he was very impressed. He said, well, I used to own a bakery, and I'm an old bagel maker. I said, well, why don't you come in sometime and show me how to make bagels? And I
Okay, so we're gonna segue, which means we're gonna run downstairs. I'm gonna transfer this because I gotta defrost the bagels. See, we're gonna do sort of a sort of continuous IRL here. I've got to remove this. How do I remove it without getting my hand in the mic? All right, let's segue here. We'll have to go out to that dangerous garage. I'm not saying my garage is dangerous. I'm just saying in general, right? The garage, unseparated or whatever from the home. Somehow the snap on this has gotten tighter. I don't exactly know why. But the first two ribs, as I'm reporting them, got me a little bit sick today. And so I pretty much had to, what did I have to do? Oh, I had to just keep cooking the meat for the, fat because I got too sick. I couldn't figure it out. I bought them at the local grocery store. Could have sworn I saw bagels in here. There they are. Okay, so I have some of the fat. I'm gonna get some of this fat. It's got sort of this cheesy orange color. Okay, and then the bagels. I thought there was a partial number of bagels. I guess not. I will bring out the remaining plain bagels to defrost. I think my aunt is watching. I haven't talked to my aunt in many years. I get to see my cousins though. And true enough, these Costco bagels are gonna have to defrost. I have to figure out a special way to defrost them so they don't mold here. And then in addition to that, I'm defrosting a chicken here. I'm defrosting a chicken to cook a chicken tomorrow night. But the problem is, I haven't gotten the okay from my mom. See, if I don't get the okay from my mom, then I can't defrost the chicken because she won't want to eat it tomorrow night. I thought, what is better than cooking a chicken so when my mom comes home, she can have chicken. In addition to that, I have sandwiches pre-made. Okay, I made these this morning. And what I do with these is I have them in a bin here, and one of them goes on a small plate. It's all right. All right. And we're gonna snap it closed with named snapware. My mom is in Twin Falls, Idaho tonight because Jim is at the hospital. He's got to basically go live there, which is no good. Okay, so we're going back to the Bagels and Bialys and the Little Caesars Report of the Week. As I was talking about, as they expand into larger and larger stuffed crusts with more toppings, they eventually are not going to get a Bialik or a Bialik. They're going to get a Bialys. That's just going to happen because they don't want to make a giant bagel or a giant calzone. They'll make a giant Bialys, which somehow is at the end of this video. Okay. Now, as true in fast food culture, we're going to go to history. Oh, but search, I'm going to do a new search. Bialys. What is a Bialy? Let's go to potluck. I never get Giorgio Armani ads, ever.
I'm David Zablocki. We're here at Kozar's Bagels and Bialys, located on the Lower East Side of Manhattan. Bialy is a Jewish, Polish piece of bread from Bialystok, Poland. Bialys are a much simpler bread than a bagel. A bialy is a fresh yeast dough made from flour, water, salt. There's no fat, there's no sugar in a bialy. I always refer to a bialy as a Jewish English muffin. So it rises, and then it rests for a little bit, and then it's got this beautiful marriage of flavors. It's got the nooks and crannies like an English muffin would, yet it's got this delicious, fresh bread. It's a little yeasty. It's just delicious. Bialys and bagels are close.
Okay, so that's Bialys. Okay, let's get back to the stuffed crust from Little Caesars.
Find creature on the moped. This time it showed up in a car, so I need to update the box. And I will say this, it's a heavy box. This is one of the heaviest pizzas I've seen in a while. It's a very greasy pizza too, look at that. Alright, let's open this up. Let's see what we have. Oh yeah, this is a greasy pizza. There we go. You can see, that's what the pizza looks like. Right there. You can see the box and all the grease on it. Glistening grease on the pizza. You can see that pepperoni. You can see the Parmesan on the crust there. And all of that. Lots of pepperoni, bit of cheese also. So there's a pizza. Lots of seasoning on that crust though, let me tell you. Let's get that thumbnail shot real quick. Here's my concern. And I just say this, I'll hold up a slice, of course, so you can see it. You know what, I'm just going to be brazen, alright? I'm going to be brazen. And I'm going to go with the greasiest slice. Oh, yeah. With my alien-like appendages holding it up. All that grease in there. Wow, that thing is packed with grease. Pepperoni, lots of it. So, here is my concern. Alright? My concern is that with all this grease, it's going to be like, because I know people like their grease with their fast food, etc., but it's going to be like it's too much of a good thing, you know, and it's going to be overwhelming. That's my concern. Will it hold true? I don't know. So we'll try out the pizza, we'll try out the crust, try to get a well-rounded assessment thereof, and that's what we have. So, the pepperoni and cheese stuffed crust pizza from Little Caesars going in.
Well, it sounds like it's surprisingly good, you know?
Pizza so far, and I'm just going to kind of brush over the pizza, because we're all focused on the crust, and I mean, you can get a extra most bestest pizza, and you can look at my review of that if you want that in more detail. Pizza so far is basic, very greasy, a lot of spice in the pepperoni this time around, but still some nice robust tomato sauce, which is good. Now I'm just going to dive right into the crust. It's not bad, but where's the pepperoni? That's what I'm looking for.
With moderate to severe...
That was a fast intro to ads right there.
Your plans can change at any time.
I gotta get the remote.
Your head wants to do one thing, but your gut says, not today. GI-focused Entyvio is made for this. Entyvio acts specifically in the GI tract to prevent an excess of white blood cells from entering and causing damaging inflammation. Entyvio has helped many patients achieve long-term relief and remission. It may help you too. Infusion and serious allergic reactions can happen during or after treatment. Entyvio may increase risk of infection, which can be serious. Although unlikely, a risk of PML, a rare, serious, potentially fatal brain infection, cannot be ruled out. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, experience frequent infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Liver problems can occur with Entyvio. If other treatments haven't worked well enough, ask your doctor about Entyvio.
Oh, my mom's
If
calling.
you're experiencing financial hardship during these trying times, Takeda may be able to help.
Hey, Mom, how's it going? I'm on Facebook right now.
Oh, okay. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Let me just,
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, then you're fine.
Okay, hold on. Let me end the stream. Just a minute. The post on Facebook. Anyway, I'm going to talk to my mom. Hope you're going good. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.